Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Sweater Wednesday. Welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for being here. Please keep that love going. For Kendall Mark, everyone, right there.
Hello.
What
Hello.
is going on, dear friend?
I'm happy to see you. I think people on the Before the Show had a panic attack when you weren't on the Before the Show.
Yeah, we do on our Facebook, and it's gotten, I have friends that watch our Facebook show, but don't watch the actual show. It's called, we do a thing on Facebook on our Jason Show Facebook page, and it's kind of grown in popularity. It's called the Jason Show Before the Show, where it's just our crew. We have a meeting at around 9:10 to go over in some detail the broadcast, some detail, yeah.
Light detail.
The broadcast that you see. Well, what we do is we let you see it, and then we just make fun of each other for 10 minutes. That's all we do.
Yep.
You make fun of me,
Yep.
I make fun of you. We all make fun of Ted and Leo.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is.
Yep.
And I wasn't there today because I'm doing my radio charity event, because I have a radio show as well, and it's called Project Down and Dirty, where they make us, all the weekday hosts, step out of our comfort zone for a week, and we do things for charity. One year we put on a musical in 4 days. We ran a restaurant. We joined the military. We did an art project. We did stand-up comedy. This year, it's like a 48-hour film fest. We're shooting a movie, and we have to write it, star in it, get makeup and props, and we wrapped early. We have a couple things to do, but we wrapped the movie early. And let me just tell you, I don't want to oversell it. I actually want to undersell this, because you get nervous. Comedy is subjective, and these are comedies.
Right.
You put it out there, you hope people like it. But here's what I will tell you, because I can't reveal much. I'm 3 different people in this movie.
Oh.
And I'm 3 different people. And one character, I am showing parts of my body that I've never shown before.
Are there details?
And let me tell you, my hair is different.
Oh.
I'm wigged, and so we're out, and Alexis, my co-host, if you think my outfit is bad, or wait till you see her. She looks like she just stumbled out of the woods. You know what I mean? She looks nutter butters.
It's pretty bad.
So we're shooting a scene yesterday. We're shooting a scene last night around dusk. And we're on the Mississippi riverfront, right there by the Hennepin Avenue. Beautiful running trails, and a lot of pretty people jog those trails. They're beautiful.
All the beautiful
They're
people run
healthy.
there. Yeah.
They all have short shorts. You know what I mean? And they have
Toned.
0% body fat. And here Alexis and I really wish I could tell you what I look like, but I can't. Let me just show Kendall a picture, so that way. No. I'm doing it. Because, I don't have my phone here. But anyway, yeah.
Go get
Hold on
it.
a minute.
Oh, we'll just be here, everybody.
Okay, I have it. Let me show Kendall a picture so she can show you how she can react to how ridiculous I am. Are you ready?
Yes. Oh my God, stop.
Yeah.
This was me on Saturday morning.
Okay, now Jeff is gonna show the studio audience, okay? Okay, so I'm wearing that. And Alexis, I can't tell you what Alexis. So we're by these jogging trails.
You wore that in the North Loop?
Yes.
Oh no.
So we're shooting this movie, and it's by a playground. And Alexis, oh God.
Did they call the police?
Well, we're by this, and there's a little kid swinging on a swing, and she's facing the walk path, and it's just at this moment, Alexis and me, and we're walking, and the kid goes like this, Mom, and I'm not kidding. She goes, Mommy, what's that? And points at Alexis, and I start laughing because the kid is frightened. Because I'm not, when you see what Alexis looks like, you'll get it. But I laughed so hard, and Lex, we dropped to the ground because I go, you scared a child, Lex. I mean, anyway, it's Friday night, screenings at 7:30, 8, and 8:30. They're little 9-minute movies. You can get tickets at mytalk1071.com, where we're gonna be doing a Q&A. It's for charity. Come see us at the West End Icon Theater. So thank you in advance. Okay.
That is a dude.
Mommy, what's that? Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it, Leo. Jimmy Kimmel is in Brooklyn this week. He does it every year. And last night, he welcomed one of his mentors and one of my broadcasting kind of North Stars, David Letterman, on the show. Jimmy reminded Dave what a big fan that he was back in the NBC late night days. Look at this.
I wanted to mention a couple of things to you, if you don't mind. First of all, when you came to Las Vegas, your show, many years ago, I was living in Las Vegas. I was in college. I wrote in letters. I wrote 20 letters to your show asking for tickets using the names and addresses of everyone I knew. And I said, if you get tickets, you have to bring me the show. And I went to all of those shows that week. And now it's very strange to be here with you on this show here. And not just strange, but delightful, I would say.
Now, I don't mean this to be harsh, but
Yeah.
you understand from my point of view, there may be an element of this that sounds creepy.
No doubt. There's no doubt about it. I waited in an alley, actually Cleto, our band leader, and I, because we saw you'd rented some sports car when you're in Vegas. And somebody said, that's David Letterman's rental car. And we thought, well, it's only a matter of time before David Letterman comes out and gets in the rental car. Turns out hours and hours went by and David Letterman never got in that rental car.
Did your folks have anybody talk to you?
Jimmy loves Dave. I get it. Dave is one of those people ask me all the time, you know, if there's a star that you haven't interviewed yet that you would like to. Dave is one of them. I would be.
It'd be so entertaining, So good.
I would cry. Dave, means a lot to me. So yeah, and there's a similar story. Jeff knows this one. I lived in Indiana, and you know Oprah had a farm in Indiana for many, many years, and the town Rolling Prairie was next to my town, and I was dating a girl. And right there's a joke.
What?
But I was dating a girl. Her name was
a while
Crystal.
ago.
Her name was Crystal, and she worked at the restaurant near Oprah's farm that Oprah would sometimes come into. Now, mind you, it's about a 20-minute drive. And I'm working at the movie theater, and Crystal calls me, and she's screaming. I pick up and go, Dunes Plaza Cinema. And she goes, Jason, Oprah's here. Get in the car.
Now.
And I jump in the car, and I stopped at my house to get a Women's Weekly magazine that she was on the cover of. And I drove like 90 miles an hour down highway, down 421. And I get to the, oh God, what was it called? Anyway, I get to the restaurant.
The Piggly Wiggly.
And I'm waiting for her in the lobby. And now I'm getting nervous. I'm like, this is creepy.
Yeah.
This is
Palms
weird.
sweating,
I
yeah.
hope she's not going to be. And she walked by, and I stand up and go, hi. I don't mean to bother you. I know I wanted to wait till you were done eating. I go, but would you sign this? And she signed it. And she was, how long were you sitting here?
Like,
A long time. Yeah, a long time. I still have that. Next in the dish, the Black Panther sequel, Wakanda Forever, hits theaters in November. And you may want to get a babysitter. You may want to get a house sitter. Prepare yourself. Disney has confirmed that the movie is almost 3 hours long. It's 2 hours and 41 minutes. That makes it nearly a half hour longer than the original. It makes it, as well, the second longest Marvel film ever behind Avengers Endgame. That movie went on to become the second top grossing film of all time. I'm very excited for this. I think that's a little too long. But then again, they said they have a lot of story to put in. I'm going to withhold judgment. They have a lot of ground to cover. They got to introduce a new villain. They got to explain the passing of Chadwick Boseman's character. And they have a lot to do, a lot of ground to cover.
Just don't get the large Coke and maybe bring your Depends.
Yeah. And make sure you tell your babysitter that you're not going to be there for a long time.
No, because then you need to digest the whole thing. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, 3 hours a movie, you got to like sit with it.
It's going to be so good, though. I'm so excited.
good.
It's going to be, you know, when everything's done, it's going to be the biggest movie of that season of the fall. It's without a doubt. We're going to take a break. We have much more ahead, including Paul Mercurio and more. Stay with us. Back in a moment, everybody. Welcome back. Well, Kelly Ripa made the rounds yesterday promoting her new book. She was on Fallon. And that, my dear friends, is our late night rewind.
It was a lot harder than I thought. I thought that because I read books that I could somehow write them. And they're, spoiler alert, they're real different.
Yeah.
But
Very hard to write a book.
It was really hard. And, you know, there were times I realized I'm such a poor typist that I wound up writing it freehand half the time and then transposing it. It was so, it was difficult. And I had to really...
But they asked you, your publisher said, hey, do you want a ghostwriter, someone that could write this for you? And you said, no, if I'm doing this,
I've got to do it myself.
Yeah,
and
good for you.
Good for me, but also dumb me, because I Googled 1,000 times how to use a semicolon, how to use a colon. I still don't know. I'm like,
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
I went to...
There'd be dashes in all my books.
I graduated high school. I should know that. Sorry.
Hey. Semicolons are hard. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think I know how to use them.
Or there's like all the there's the twos, the
Yeah.
things, you know, but people get confused. I know that. I'm just being polite, Jeff.
Oh, wow. If you didn't hear that off camera, executive producer Jeff just went like this. Well, you should know that. Yeah. Wow.
There too. But people do have a hard time with like some things.
Yes. And when you do TV writing, it ruins you forever because there's just a lot of dots, da-da-da-da, dot. That's how it appears in the script. Like right now, next in the dish, Deadpool 3 is in the works, ... And I'm not joking. People can see the teleprompter. And Ryan Reynolds took to Twitter to make a surprising announcement. Look.
Hey, Hugh, you want to play Wolverine one more time?
Yeah, sure, Ryan.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
You have questions.
Yes. I had a lot of questions. I'm sure you had a lot of questions, but rest assured, we're going to answer them right now. Like, for example, how is Wolverine alive after Logan?
Logan takes place in 2029. Totally separate thing. Logan died in Logan. Not touching that. What actually happens in our film is these two get out there. And he's like,
Well, they can't really tell you why, how, when, where. Yeah, great trailer, actually. It's fantastic. Deadpool 3 hits theaters next fall. I love the Deadpool series.
Yes.
And Hugh Jackman, I mean, come on. Just one of the, again, another question people ask is, who's been like, Jason, who are the nicest celebrities like in person?
Yes.
Hugh Jackman is one of them.
And
Just
he's
the
so
nicest
good.
guy. Such a sweet guy. Very, Very attractive.
Very unfortunate looking,
yeah.
both of them.
Very, very attractive.
Oof.
Next in the dish, Jimmy Kimmel was on Howard Stern yesterday. Jimmy recently signed on for 3 more years of his show at ABC, and he told Howard why he decided to stay. Look.
Ultimately, it was just like, I think I was having a hard time with the leaving part of it. And I don't mean just like leaving, I mean just what you need to go through, the emotional toll that takes of like, okay, you got 6 months, now you got to wrap it up. And it was easier for me to go, hey, you know what, I'll worry about that in 3 years.
You know what, for me it is, it's like when you have something successful going on where you're wanted and all of that, how do you walk away from that? You know, I don't understand it. It's
especially when you're from radio like we are,
Right.
and you get
Right.
fired and you're barely scratching it together and just trying to make something happen. And, you know, I was fired from most of my radio jobs, and most of them didn't last a year.
You move around a lot in radio. I mean, he did. Jimmy talked about all the cities that when you start off in radio, you do a whole bunch of small towns, and then he ended up in LA and really never left, and then the Man Show happened. And Jimmy also addressed to Howard the Emmy controversy. I put that, it's just, I know, anyway, about when he did that little joke with laid on the floor, and when Quinta Brunson came up, people thought he was taking Quinta's moment. And Jimmy explained, and I thought this was the case, he didn't mean to ruin her moment. He explained to Howard, he was supposed to come out with Norman Lear. He was going to come out to celebrate Norman Lear's 100th birthday. But then Norman called him and said, do you really need me? And Jimmy's like, you can't make a 100-year-old man do anything. You know what I mean? And he's like, no, you stay home. So that bit with Will Arnett was kind of a last-minute thing. And he's like, I would never purposely, and he goes, he didn't know that the stage was like a catwalk. He thought that he was just going to be lying there away from the microphone. And it was a mistake, an honest mistake. And I thought it then, even if you don't like Jimmy's comedy, I think he's a good dude. And I didn't think it was with ill intent, is what I mean. Yeah. Next up, it's a mockumentary in the style of the TV show The Office and movies. I love like the mockumentaries like Best in Show. Love that one. Welcome to Flatch takes place in a small town in Ohio. If you haven't seen it yet, here's a little preview.
I was in a very successful spiritual boy band in the late 90s. We were huge in Germany.
Oh my God, what?
Lead singer. I also did all the choreography. But of course, it was the big guy who was the lead. I'm just gonna honor God. You're showing off some of the most killer moves.
That's right. Season 2 premieres tomorrow night on Fox and stars Seann William Scott. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Seann William Scott. Hi, Sean.
Hey.
How you doing? I'm good, buddy. You know, every time you come here, you know how us, Sean's from Cottage Grove, and you know, Sean, you know how we are, Sean. Even if you've driven through Minnesota, we claim you, but we really, you know how we are with that, but we really, we really claim you. How often do you get back, buddy?
That is awesome. I have not been. Well, I love Minnesota. That's home for me. But I haven't been back in a little bit. But I'm gonna all my good friends, my guy buddies that we play baseball with, they're throwing together like a little mini reunion in the beginning of December. So I'm gonna be back there then.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Well, let's talk about season 2. We had you on for season 1. Tell the folks that haven't watched. You play Father Joe. Tell us a little bit about where we find Father Joe in the beginning of season 2.
Well, Father Joe is a former lead singer of a Christian boy band, and you start to see more in season 2 how much he struggles with. Like, he still wants to be in the limelight. I don't think his life has ever been the same ever since that his Christian boy band days have been over. So he starts to unravel a little bit and become unhinged, which has been really fun to play. And he loses it.
And we are noticing a familiar face. Is that Jamie Presley joining season 2?
Yeah, Jamie Presley is in our show, and man, she is a force. She's so funny, and just how her character affects all the characters in this town is very, very funny.
Sean, I mean, obviously, unless you're on a back lot, it looks like you're shooting on. Where do you guys shoot the show?
We shoot it in Wilmington, North Carolina, but actually, there's a town about a half hour from Wilmington called Burgaw that's basically our flash. So we pretty much shoot in this small town, which is pretty perfect.
I was going to say, how do the people there? I mean, we're 2 seasons now. Do you feel pretty welcome there? How do because I mean, Cottage Grove, the small town people are just the best. They're just good people. How do they react to you guys coming in?
They're great. I mean, I think so a lot of times it seems like some of the locals will end up in the show, either in the kind of the background. But as far as I know, I think that they're happy that we're there. Who knows? It's not like we're such a huge production that we shut down the streets and stuff like that. So I think that they're happy that we're shooting there.
Sean, after all these years, what do you get stopped with in Target or at Whole Foods? What do people say the most to you even now? What do people say to you?
Oh, it's Stifler. Oh,
yeah.
It's weird. I'll get called Stifler a lot, but also people will shout out Stifler's mom to me, which is always confusing. Like Stifler's mom. I'm not Stifler's mom. I get what you're saying, but I'll be like at Whole Foods. Actually, last week, somebody's like, "Hey, Stifler's mom." I'm like, Okay, thank you. I'm a little confused.
Yeah, so if you're watching this, if you see, now for goodness sake, if you see Sean in December here, and you see him at the Whole Foods in Cottage Grove, for God's sake, don't yell Stifler's mom at him, okay, Minnesota? If you see Sean this December, just...
I know, but you know what? You can shout out Stifler's mom. I know what you mean.
Yes.
It's okay. It's a little weird, but I get it.
Well, buddy, thank you. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Take care.
Hey, thank you so much for having me on. It's great to see you guys. Have a great day.
Season 2 of Welcome to Flash premieres tomorrow night on Fox. Little bit of a delay there, but that's fine. Yeah.
Always.
Bye, Sean. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. Always hard. Always hard. He's a good dude. Let me do the story. I have a story about him, but let me do the story, and we'll tell you a little bit later. Next in the dish, the final trailer for Halloween Ends.
Halloween.
Should I do the damn story, or should I say? Yeah. Anyway, the final trailer for Halloween Ends dropped yesterday, and I love this franchise. I like scary movies, and that means there will soon be a conclusion to this 45-year-old saga between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. Look.
He killed my daughter, but tonight I will kill him. Come and get me. Maybe the only way he can die is if I die too. It all ends now.
Ooh. Halloween ends in 2 weeks. It goes to Peacock. If you have that, and then you can see it in theaters as well. Looks pretty good. I don't know if this is really the end. I think it's going to be the end for Jamie Lee Curtis.
He'll never die.
No, I mean, he's been a lot. Yeah, I mean, he keeps going back. But I do, out of all the horror franchises, this is one of my favorites. It's time to meet our next JVIP of the week. Today, it's Crystal Sodrin. Hi, Crystal. She says she doesn't have enough space to write all the things that she likes about the show. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Crystal says watching the show is a daily comfort. Kendall, the crew, and myself feel like friends that she gets to hang out with every day. Well, that's what we want to do, Crystal. You are our friend. She gets a mug and is also entered to win the monthly grand prize. That includes coming to our studio to watch the show. You get to sit in a special chair that Aaron falls asleep on daily. $150 accessories gift card to Becker Furniture World and a $200 gift card from our family at Woodhouse Spa. The hot dish is done, but we have much more ahead. Here's producer Ted tracked this, okay? Here we go. Here's
God.
producer Ted in his dramatic tracking voice with a look at what's coming up. We'll be right back.
Coming up on The Jason Show, he's the warm-up guy for Stephen Colbert, appearing regularly on The Late Show. Comedian Paul Mercurio joins us next, ahead of his appearance this weekend at the House of Comedy inside Mall of America. We'll talk about comedy in 2022, and what about his mom? Plus, the return of the Sanderson sisters. Hocus Pocus 2 starts streaming this week. But how much do you know about the 3 stars? We're putting you to the test. Sit back, relax. The Jason Show is coming right back.
Welcome back. Our next guest is an Emmy Award-winning comedian, and I mean, one of our favorites. He just really is. He'll be in town this weekend performing at the House of Comedy. He would have joined us in person, but he's very important, people. He's very fancy. He has his job to do because, hello, he works for The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. That's right, classic excuse. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our friend Paul Mercurio, everybody. Hi, Paul.
I'm very busy right now. Stephen, I can't dress you too. You're an adult man. You're Stephen Colbert. You're going to have to deal with it. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there.
Paul, hello.
Hello.
Hi, buddy.
How are you?
I'm good.
I want to be in person with you.
I know. I know. I was excited because Paul always, you know, some big-time comedians, they do this crap. They do the Zoom stuff. Paul is a good dude. He comes in here, comes in studio, doesn't bring an entourage. It's just him. He's salt of the earth. So I thought you would be here.
I was planning to be there and come on the show live, but tomorrow night, when I would be flying in, I'm filming an appearance on The Late Show. So I'm doing another appearance. Yeah. So, yeah. And so this was the best thing that we could come up with, and I love the studio audience. Your audience is so great, and the energy, and the women undressing me with their eyes. It's just a great thing. And by the way, I love your sweater. It's very casual. It's a different look for you. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a little, you know how it is. I mean, it's cold here, Paul. I'm getting cold.
I think you should be wearing pants. That's a little weird, but whatever you're into.
What the audience doesn't see doesn't affect them, Paul. That's right.
Exactly.
Hey, I want to ask you one little serious thing, and we'll get it out of the way. You told everyone, you've been very open about it. You have had long haul COVID. How the hell are you doing?
I've been very tired from it. I'm still tired from it. But I'm better. But it was a strange thing when I got it before the vaccine, and you go in to talk to the doctor about the stuff you had, and the medical community didn't really know much about it, and they still don't. It's not their fault, but and you give them all the symptoms, like I've lost my taste and smell, and they go, yes, we've heard that. They had a checklist, literally, and I've got. I'm tired all the time. Yes, we heard that. And, you could say anything at that point. You'd be like, every Tuesday, frogs crawl out of my butt. Yeah, we heard that.
Yeah.
And it would be like, well, are they blue or are they red frogs? And I'm like, so it just got and then I was home a lot, and everybody in the house, my wife, my kid, and our dog Daisy, who has found me very annoying and wanted me out of the house as fast as possible. My dog finds me annoying. Every time I walk into a room, my dog gives me a dirty look, gets up, and walks into the other room. I am not making this up. She looks at me like, oh, this idiot again, and she walks into that room. And I will tell you that this dog has a weak sphincter, okay, Daisy. So she has to she does. So she has to take a pill twice a day. And God forbid, I raise my voice, my wife's like, okay, Daisy, she's going to get nervous and squirt a little bit. You look at my house, you come to my house, it looks like an assisted living facility, okay? There were weed pads everywhere. It smells like Desitin. I don't know where I'm living anymore. It's a mess. It's a mess.
Oh.
Speaking of a mess, my mother.
I was just gonna say that. How's
my
your
God.
mom doing?
Oh my God, she's 94 and will not go down. We try everything. Bad cheese, sour milk. I tripped her. She bounces back up like a little Italian weeble. She's just like this. We just closed her store, her furniture store, after 63 years. Okay?
What?
Yeah. Yes. She had a furniture store that she started in 1960 in a tenement house, okay? Very progressive woman. Okay, great. 63 years she had to close the store. She goes, I don't want to close the store. I don't want to retire. I'm like, well, you know, you're older, the eyes are going, the ears, we can't hear. Well, what am I going to do? I said, there's like a community center with older people. I don't want to go with older people. I go, you're old. What do you think? You're 24, you're going to go windsurfing with Taylor Swift? You're old. You're 94.
Okay, Paul, stay right there.
No, I got to keep going or I'm going to have a heart attack.
Wait, yeah, you
don't
will
need-
on the other side. Ted,
All right.
roll the commercial. We'll be right back. More with our buddy Paul. Welcome back.
John, just wear the green pants. I gotta go. It's Jon Stewart. He doesn't know what to wear.
Buddy, speaking of Stewart and comedians, I want to ask you, because, I mean, you're one of my faves, and we don't get serious on this show, but I do want to ask, what is it like in this era of, you know, comedians don't even want to go to colleges anymore because you're afraid to say anything because people are going to jump out of a bush and be offended. What is it?
Exactly.
What is that? What is it like for you?
I mean, for me, well, you know me. I don't care. I'm scorched earth. I'm going to say what I want to say because life's too short. Listen. For the record, I believe in political correctness. I just think the pendulum has swung too far one way. We need to get back in the middle. Everybody needs to relax, okay? And for the starters, can we just stop reading into what other people say? Because I feel like just in life, not even in stand-up, people want to try to catch you like you said something wrong. My wife and I are walking our dog, weak sphincter Daisy, in the park, and she really does. I'm not making it up. And where we live, it's the law. You're supposed to have a dog on a leash, and we did. And this guy's dog wasn't on the leash. It was a big dog, scaring people. My wife couldn't be nicer. Goes, sir, excuse me, your dog should be on a leash, just like that. And he goes like this. Why? Because it's a pit bull? Like implying that we were racist toward pit bulls? And I'm like, no, because it's got a baby in its mouth. That's why. Because it has prison tattoos and it's packing nunchucks. That's why. Okay. And you know, you can't even have innocent fun. Now, I know a lot of people in your studio audience and watching can relate to this. You either did this with your kids or when you were a kid, your parents did this to you. And you can't do this now. Every Halloween, my parents would dress me as a hobo.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yes.
They take daddy's old clothes, go, you know, whatever. We didn't have money for costumes. You couldn't do that today.
No.
Because a hobo's a homeless person. It would be considered insensitive, and I get it. And it was a little weird if you think about it. Think about it. Our parents dressed us as homeless people.
Yeah. Yes.
And sent us onto the streets at night to collect free food. Free food.
But I think the whole concept of trick-or-treating is weird to me now.
It was like I'm collecting free food in front of real homeless people. Like it was like. And I never got candy. Every house, I got baked beans and a harmonica. That was it. Like, it was
like... Well, speaking of a different environment, what's New York like lately? I mean, you know, you hear one article, it's like New York is back. Then you read the next article, oh, nope, it's still dead.
It's back. And let me tell you something. If you're going to come visit, when you're walking on a sidewalk, walk on the sidewalk. Don't stop and look down. It's not a stop walk. It's a sidewalk, okay? It's very simple. Otherwise, stay in Minnesota or stay in Colorado. I got stuff to do. I got to deal with my 94-year-old mother My mother, this is what we had to do. I'm sorry, I got to talk about my mother. So we had to close the store and furniture store, and we had to throw stuff out. So there's a lot of papers and stuff, right? So I'm throwing stuff out. This is how you have to throw stuff out with my 94-year-old mother. I throw a bunch of like papers and articles and stuff away, and I turn back, and then I look back, and they're out of the garbage, and they're back on the counter where I threw them. Yeah, I hear you laughing in the audience. I hear you. Because you're laughing because you do it or your parents do it. So then I go, oh, okay, I must have forgot. I thought I threw that out. So I throw it out again. I turn back, and it's there again. So this is how you have to throw stuff out with my mother. You know the scene in The Godfather where De Niro, the young Godfather, shoots the guy in the hallway in the white thing, right? Yeah. And then he goes up on the roof and he takes the gun and he breaks it into a bunch of pieces and he stuffs the gun into little different pipes. That's how you have to take stuff with my mother. When you throw stuff out with my mother, you have to rip it up into like 1 million pieces, and then you have to throw it in different garbage cans around our city so she can't find it and tape it back together, okay? That's how you...
if people saw me look over there, I don't want to rap, but I have to. So, Paul, can we do one more segment with you, Paul? Do you mind?
Okay.
I know you're very busy. Okay, stay right there. The audience wants more of you. I want more of you. That sounded perverted, but you know what I mean. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody. Back in a moment. Okay, now, before we talk to him again, he's here for a reason, not just to make us laugh. But Paul, you can go see Paul this weekend at the House of Comedy, Friday and Saturday, 4 shows. Right there's the address. Go see Paul this weekend. Okay, let's put him back up. Now, Paul, before we talk more, you're going to love this. We were going to play a game in this segment with 2 audience members, and now they're mad at you because you're taking away their chance. No. Because you took their chance to be on TV away. So, Paul, if you want to say hi to Jen and Tammy.
Hi. How are you? I'm sorry. Where are you? Let me see. Wave at me.
Wait.
Which ones are you? Oh, hi. I'm gonna give you want free tickets to come to my show? Oh yeah. I'm not gonna give them to you, but I was just wondering if you wanted them. I will get you tickets to my comedy show this weekend.
Oh, so
okay.
Nice.
Right.
Okay, that's enough of the audience. That's enough of the audience. There we go. No, Aaron, Paul, you know Aaron, who does our audience. Aaron goes, "You're canceling the game? I just got them revved up for it."
Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Well, listen, I'll come to your house and I'll paint. I'll paint your house, the woman in the green.
Paul, I wanted to do another segment because not only I wanted to talk about your show more, but oh God, you have such a good podcast. Tell the folks about the podcast.
Yeah, I've had some really fun guests, Kevin Costner, Stephen Colbert, Kira Sedgwick, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I have this interest across the board, and I have this, I just have this curiosity about how people do what they do, and especially when it comes to music. And I just had Joe Walsh on, and I had Paul McCartney on.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Hey, buddy, some guests, and I'm going to wait till the very end. I got something to tell you, but you know how some guests can kind of surprise you? You're like, oh, you think they're going to be forthcoming, but ooh, then they come on and they're really forthcoming. Who has surprised you in that way?
Billy Bob Thornton, because I always do a lot of research on my guests, and he had a reputation of being kind of difficult in interviews, and I was in a really bad mood that day, and I remember saying to my wife, Carol, I go, if this guy gives me any crap, I'm going to hang up on him. Like, that's what I said. I don't need to take anything from this hick. Like, that's what I said, right? And then I got on the phone with him, and I try to ask questions that people don't ask. And so, the first thing I said is, Angelina Jolie, is she into me? And then it was click, hello, is anybody there? So, no, I just asked him about his music and art and everything else and what he likes. And he said he just started giving up a lot of information. And at the end said, this is one of the better interviews that anybody ever did for me. And I said, well, yeah. And I said, as a result of that, my wife is going to bake you an apple pie, and we're going to send it to you. And we baked him an apple pie and sent it to him.
Is it not weird is the wrong word. What is it like? Like, Steve, Colbert, him as a friend. Wait,
let's slow down. We're not allowed to look him in the eye. That's one of the things. You can't.
But does it make it harder, Paul, when you get in the studio because you have your friends and it's like you got to try to make the conversation not all inside. Is it an advantage or a disadvantage when you interview someone like Colbert?
It's kind of both. Like, it's a little weird because like we've known each other for 20 years. We've done the Daily Show together. Like, so you suddenly, just that suit, by the way, rented, $42. Right. That's not even a real shirt and tie. It's a T-shirt that looks like a shirt and a tie. So yeah, it's always weird, but fun too. Like, but you got to kind of try to find things to talk about with somebody who you know really well.
Yeah.
That are not too personal and too inside. Like Steven likes to wear diapers. Nobody knows why, and so I would not bring that up. Although I just said it on air, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm getting the 30 seconds, so I want to take this and I want to end with a compliment. And I just told the audience, it's ironic that I'm talking to you, and I mean this, and it's great that this audience is here because I was hearing Kimmel on Howard talk about how he really appreciates more than ever a good guest because he works, when you have a guest, and when you have a guest that doesn't really want to be there promoting their stuff, or if you have an audience that's not tracking with you, when you have both of those things, you appreciate it when you have a job like this. I say that because I'm filled with gratitude today for this audience who's lively and tracking, and for a guest like you who, as we say, for a guest like you that comes to play. You make my job very easy, and I'm very appreciative.
Well, thank you very. I do these shows all over the country, and you are by far my favorite show to do. Period. Hands down.
Thank you, buddy.
Not a lot of people know this, but you have a tremendous amount of back hair. But you know what? That's on you. And I'm not going to say why I know it. I'm just going to say that it's been a pleasure being on with you. And you got to eat your bananas. They're good for you. Love you, buddy. I miss you.
Paul Mercurio, everybody. Catch him this weekend at the House of Comedy. Like I said, I gotta read this. There are 4 shows, 2 each night on Friday and Saturday. For tickets, the website's right there, moa.houseofcomedy.net. And follow Paul on all socials. Just search for Paul Mercurio. We'll be right back, everybody. Oh, God. Hey, we usually do the world's shortest segment here, but I just wanted to take a second at this portion of the show. It was revealed right before we went on the air that our buddy Katie Couric, who was our very first guest on the show and who's been a good friend to me, she revealed that she is battling breast cancer. She just revealed that about a couple hours ago, and you all know what Katie means to me. And if anyone can beat it, it is her. She has done so much for cancer research. So, Katie, I love you. We'll be right back, everybody. Back in a moment. Welcome back. It's time for the surprise goodbye. Whatever you're doing, come back to the screen for this. A guy on board an American Airlines flight records an unusual noise over the plane's PA system. Listen. Okay, Emerson Collins says the weird noises on the plane are from LA to Dallas, and they started before takeoff and continued during the entire flight. And it wasn't the captain. Passengers on other American airline flights say they've also heard the moaning sounds. How weird is that? That's going to do it for us. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. We love you, Katie Couric. We'll see you tomorrow.